What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're finally going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts One Piece Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy. And in case you guys didn't know, this is one of the figures I am the most excited for this year. And I know a ton of people have already done their reviews, but of course I had to bring you guys mine as you guys have been asking for it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started, getting right into the sexy packaging. Now, since I don't have any of my other boxes out right now, they're still put up in storage. I'm not going to be able to showcase this box next to any of the others, but it's pretty much the exact same. It's just a little bit more dense because he contains the, I don't know what it is that's around him, like the cloud, but because of that cloud, it does make the package a little bit bigger. But anyways, you guys can see it does have the map theme on the side, One Piece right there, Monkey D. Luffy, Gear 5. We've got the window where we can see the figure as well as some of the accessories. We've got images all along the side here looking very beautiful. At the top, you've got the map. At the bottom, we've got Luffy laughing in his signature pose right here for Gear 5. Again, we got him laughing where he's kind of relaxing and laying back. And then on the back, we do have some poses we can get the figure into, as well as some of the crazy accessories, and then a bunch of stuff that I cannot read because this figure was imported and it was sent to my boy sent by my boy 86 Reviews. Big shout out to him for sending this my way. I truly appreciate you, brother, because I missed out on this pre-order and there was no way I was going to be able to get it anywhere other than Big Bad Toy Store. Now, anyway, let's go ahead and bust our boy Gear 5 Luffy out of the packaging, or should I say Sun God Nika.
What did he say?
So because of the fact that there's plenty of reviews on this guy, I'm actually going to try to speed blitz through this video just because I value you guys' time, and a lot of you who are here are probably just watching to support, which I greatly appreciate. But here is the figure right out of the packaging. It looks exactly like what you've seen in all of the promo images and images on Instagram or Twitter, wherever you've seen photos of this guy. But I gotta say, it does look really damn good, man. I really enjoy the look of this figure. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and examine some of the details. Now, taking a closer look at the figure, as you can see, he does have the really wavy hair that kind of flows upward, and at the curls, it does actually resemble the gum gum fruit, which is an attention to detail I actually really appreciate, just because it's a design choice I do know Ichiro Oda did on purpose. He has the white hair, which it seems like there's a lot of characters that once they reach their peak transformation, they do have the white hair. Of course, Goku has Ultra Instinct, and I'm sure there are some other anime characters that have done this as well. I can't think of any right off the top of my head. I just feel like it's a trend I've been seeing a lot. Now, anyway, when it comes to the rest of the details, as you can see, he does have the cloud surrounding him, which is on a hinge. It's a lot more translucent in person than I thought it was. In videos or in pictures I've seen, it doesn't really look very translucent, but it definitely is, which, I mean, it's supposed to be. I think it's smoke, so it's a design choice that does make sense. When it comes to the jacket, you can see it looks exactly like the one that came with the original Luffy, but of course it's not, just because of some of the designs that went into this particular figure that are different than the original release. Of course, as you guys can see, there aren't any joints at the arm for reasons I'll discuss once we get to the articulation. And then of course you do have the cloud that pegs into the chest piece as well, which could be an original piece or it could be the same piece, just kind of morphed. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, it looks good. You've got the straw hat, which is attached to him. It is a floating piece, so you can remove this, and if you want to put it on your original Luffy figure so you can have him with the hat just kind of hanging, you can definitely do that. I do also love the sash piece here, how it has the curl to it this time around versus just going straight down. And then you've got the pants, or not pants, but shorts that actually look really good. This piece right here this time around does hinge upward a little bit, and I think they meant to do that with the first release, but it just somehow didn't happen. I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah. And then when it comes to the legs, you guys will see no joints whatsoever other than at the feet. Again, this is a design choice that they made for this particular figure, which I think it kind of makes sense. Some people might like it, some people might not like it. But anyway, I've already spoke enough. Let's go ahead and put this guy back so we can see how tall he stands. Now, when it comes to the height, to the very top of this figure, he's a little bit over 6 inches. He's about 6¼ inches, and that's just to the top of his hair. To the top of his forehead, he's right at about 5.5, which this is perfectly fine because it still means he fits in scale with all of the other 6-inch figures, which of course I'll show in the size comparisons a little bit later. Articulation-wise, it's actually pretty decent. He looks up about that much, which is good. We've got to be able to get him in those poses where his head's tilted back for him to be kind of laughing or relaxing. He looks down very, very well, so that's good. Head does move all around, and I truly, truly dig that. Love that a whole lot. Arms go up and out about that much. No real butterfly joint in here at all, but of course you can still bring those hands all the way forward for if you're using, I don't know, Gum Pistol or Gum Gatling. It does work, so I dig that. I don't think he uses those in this form, but still, he does have a built-in swivel. And now we get to the interesting part. Wasn't expecting this to come off, but I'm actually going to take it off. As you can see, there are joints all on this thing. I accidentally just popped one off, but that shows that it does articulate, and you can move it around while you're posing the figure so that it's not in the way whenever you have him in certain poses. Now, anyway, we'll move that to the side here. When it comes to the elbows, this is a design choice I'm about to test out on camera and explain to you guys how I feel about it. It does... Whoa, that is way different than I thought. Okay, I heard that it bends. Maybe these arms don't bend. Let's see. Are these the ones that bend? I don't want to break it. I don't think that these arms bend. I don't like this. All right, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So it does, but I don't like this at all. That's way, way tougher than I thought it was going to be, yo. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. Maybe I'll get a second one and I'll mess with that one a bit more. But this particular figure here, nah, I'm not going to do that, man. They should have just put the joints in there. Tamashii Nations, if you see this, if you ever make another Gear 5, point the joints in there. Just put the joints in there. Anyway, when it comes to the arms, you do have a swivel right here because these are meant to come off for you to put the other arms on, or maybe it's the other arms that are supposed to move and these are supposed to stay static. I don't know. I haven't watched anyone else's review. I think I watched one. But yeah, either way, not really feeling that. Anyway, the hands move around just fine. At the diaphragm and the lower waist, he maneuvers very, very well. So posability at the torso, great. I have absolutely no complaints. And just like unlike the original Luffy, nothing pops off. So I'm cool with that. When it comes to the legs, he kicks forward, but it's weird. But it's still better than the arms. I dig that. It doesn't look like there's any joints right there. It's because it's tucked behind this plastic right here, which is another weird choice. They could have just cut that piece off and left the joints to show, but for whatever reason they didn't. Either way, they work, so I'm not going to complain too much. Just be careful of warping that plastic. The legs go out about that much. When it comes to bending the knees, I guess this is where this piece right here is supposed to come in handy, and you just kind of bend them like that. And it just, I don't know, man. I like that, but at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan because it's never going to warp back to perfection. You can get it close, which I mean, I think this is fine only because I barely bent it, but still, it's not going to be perfect. And then I don't know how this is going to hold up over time, but I definitely don't recommend leaving him in poses with these joints bent for too long if you plan on him still looking great static. That's just how I feel about it. But hopefully this does hold up. Anyway, the foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Really good ankle rocker. And then this time around, he doesn't have a toe hinge. And so the sandals are just this soft plastic piece that are meant to be stuck to the bottom of the shoe. So it's not, or the bottom of the foot. So it's not like the original release. But interesting choices here. This is one I'm definitely going to have to play with a little bit to get used to. And maybe I'll grow to appreciate some of these choices a bit more, but I know for a fact if these arms are the ones that are supposed to bend, I am not feeling these at all. I'm hoping they're not. Now, if you guys have already seen a review of this figure, I'm sure you all know that the most fun part of this figure is the accessories, and he comes with quite a few. First off, he comes with this laughing face straight out of the packaging and a pair of relaxed hands. Then he comes with a pair of fist hands, of course, for him to put the beats on Kaido or one other opponent if you're caught up. He comes with a pair of kind of reaching, grabbing-ish type hands, and then he comes with another pair of grabbing hands for holding an accessory I'm about to show later. He comes with quite a few facial expressions. First off, he comes with this grin right here, which is super dope. I dig the hell out of this. He comes with this kind of like laughing-ish face, or it can actually be an angry face if you want to use it for that. To be honest, it actually looks more angry. Then he comes with a facial expression that looks angry, but this is actually him when he is trying to deflect Kaido's blast breath attack, or it could just be him when he's really trying to do something crazy and break the fourth wall in One Piece. This can be used for a ton of things, but the best expression that he comes with, in my opinion, is this. I love this, dude. I absolutely love this. This is giving me full Tom and Jerry vibes. And I'm talking about those episodes where it's just a bunch of noise and you have Jerry who does something crazy to get back at Tom, and just before the impact, you see how shocked he is. I love this, man. I love this a whole lot. This is super cool. But then he also comes with some interchangeable arms. These actually bend a little bit, or bend a lot a bit, and you can bend these at the elbows as well. There is a ton of articulation to get out of these, and when I'm looking at these accessories, this makes me think, why did they not do this with the original Luffy? Because this would have helped to get him in a whole lot of his gum poses. I'm assuming at some point they're going to double back and add these accessories for the original Luffy. I mean, it would only make sense. But then, of course, we're getting a pre-time skip Luffy, and he still doesn't come with any gum accessories. So, Tamashii, what's up with that? I do think I forgot this face right here. This is for when he is transforming into Gear 5 for the first time. As you can see, he's got the signature grin. This is super dope as well. His skin does look a little bit more tan than the other release. Let's see. Let's pull him out. Actually, nah, that's probably about right. It does still look a little bit more tan, but still, I dig it. And last but not least, he comes with this really dope lightning effect. I'm so glad that they included this, and to get it on his hands, you just attach it or detach it right there, and then reattach it after you slip it through the hand. So really good on accessories. Moving on to size comparisons, I'm not going to compare him to a whole lot of stuff. In fact, I'm going to keep it strictly one piece because I got all of these figures out of the packaging. As of right now, all of my other figures are pretty much put up, and I just don't feel like getting those out. Plus, I'm sure someone has already done a million size comparisons, but if there is something you want to see, let me know, and I might post it on Instagram or something. But anyway, here he is standing next to some of the One Piece figures we've gotten so far. We've got the SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy, the SH Figuarts Sanji, and the SH Figuarts Roanoa Zoro. Don't ask why he's missing the sash piece. There's a reason for it, but I do still have it. Next up, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts One Piece Yamato, the SH Figuarts Trafalgar Law, and then we also have him standing next to the SH Figuarts Netflix live action Monkey D. Luffy, which I'd be really curious to see how they did Gear 5 in live action. Of course, it's probably never going to get that far. I highly doubt the series goes on that long, but it would be interesting to see how they did that. Anyway, getting on to my final thoughts. Now, when it comes to my final thoughts on this figure, I'll be honest with you guys. This is one that is going to take me some time to figure out where it stands in my collection in terms of enjoyability. And the reason I say that is because it's completely different than any other action figure I have in my collection. And it's probably going to be the same for most of you guys as well, especially if you stick to SH Figuarts, Metacom Toy, Figma, or even Hasbro figures. Action figures in general, like being realistic. And the main reason I say that is because of the lack of joints for the articulation. Now, if you're someone who can get used to just bendy joints, or just bendy articulation with no joints, then this might work for you. But if you're someone who can't get used to that, or you're just not a fan of it, this is a figure I don't see you really enjoying very much, because at the end of the day, it does limit the articulation, especially in the arms. You could probably finagle the legs a little bit. I haven't messed with it enough to see, but the arms, it's not going to work unless you're utilizing these. Now, I will say that these arms here are definitely better than the arms he comes with in the packaging, because as you can see, the sculpted wrinkles in the arms are a little bit further up and they're not at the elbow, making this piece so much easier to bend than these. Once you try to bend these at the elbow, you're going to see those wrinkles start to come in, and it's just really going to hinder it. And then also the plastic on these are much tougher than the plastic on these, and so it just causes a few problems all around. Again, I might get used to it, but it's still something that is problematic, so it had to be mentioned. I don't know. I'm cool with it, but I don't know, man. I wish Tamashii Nations would have just gave us regular arms and then these. I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place. They totally could have gave us regular arms here. They could have reused the Luffy arms that we already had. It's a very weird choice. Like, that's the only way I can put it. But overall, I do enjoy the figure. If you like this form, it's one that I highly recommend you track down. I think this figure is going to sell out. I think it has sold out in Japan. I don't know about America, but it's one you got to experience. Like I said, you can't really just watch a review on this guy and know exactly how you feel about it, unless, of course, some of the decisions that I mentioned are just things that are a pet peeve to you and they automatically can make you say, nah, I don't want it. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out the figure. Get your hands on it. Overall, I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep on my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.